In the building. Mic check, mic check. In the building. Where's Rome? Where's Sound Man? We are live, Sound Man. We are live, Rome.
Yep.
What's going on, fellas?
What's going on? Keep FYI in y'all. We are recording and we're live on YouTube currently.
Just want to say, shout out Daniel Gafford.
Who?
All right. Daniel Gafford, power forward, Washington Wizards, got paid today.
Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah, that was posted on the Annie Up.
Shout out to my guy.
That's your guy, huh?
Yeah.
You know, Rome don't want to hear that basketball talk, man.
He'll be all
Not
right.
doing no, hell no.
Not that season.
He'll be all right. He not
Yeah.
worth the money, but whatever.
It ain't that season.
Season start tonight.
Wake me up in April.
You one of them guys.
I'm kind of one of those guys too. I be here for basketball, but like, it's definitely don't. I don't really be into it until like playoffs for sure.
Every game counts.
Every game for sure counts.
Every game counts.
Except that Tuesday in February where they're just like chilling.
I love that. I love that Tuesday, February 10:30 Nuggets somebody game, and the Murray's just going crazy at like 12:58 a.m. and you just like, wow, should I continue watching this or do I go to bed? You know what I mean?
Give me a second. Just trying to make sure.
Come on, Polo Rome, show us the Polo.
Situation.
Show us the Polo.
Polo, let's go see.
Let's see.
We off the champ tonight, Rome.
I got a cup of coffee with me tonight.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
cup of coffee, huh? One of those nights. Let me get my
Speaking of,
TV
give me
on
about
some-
30 seconds.
All right, I'm getting my TV on some hoop. We're getting ready. Week 7.
Yeah, I need to
I
check.
don't know, Sound Man. We getting ready.
Yeah.
Where's Rome this week? I'm gonna get the drop super early as soon as we get off. Matter of fact, before we get off here, I'm gonna get the Rome drop. While we're still recording, I'm gonna get the Where's Rome drop. We'll stop streaming by then, though. Let's go.
Yeah, about 1 minute. Let me grab this coffee.
Man, said 30 seconds.
Man, it's definitely said 36.
Let me turn the game on my phone, man.
The Red Sox.
Hell no. What's on TNT?
Chill.
I can't say TNT.
Nah.
I can't say TNT. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to my guy Dante. Words of Wisdom relaunched today. Hats are everywhere. Got the hat on right now. Go to wordsofwisdom.com.
Hey, plug. Man, talking about big stay away week. Come on, Nick. Come on, buddy. What you talking about? We got 8. We only so many of these. We gotta take advantage.
Big stay away week. I feel the vibes.
It's a week to make money. That's all we're worried about. You don't gotta bet every game. You only gotta bet one game to make money. One game.
I know the one game I would bet to make money this week. Not too many of them.
Wow, there's hoop on. I need James Harden over 8.5 assists.
They started already?
No, intro. Steve Van Gundy.
Mike Nets +2.5.
hook is there. Gotta get the hook.
TNT job playing with me. I don't know. I
You gotta
don't want
relax, buddy. Put it on the other station and then just go one up.
Ain't no cable downstairs. You know the vibes.
Oh,
I'm on the app, baby. Here we go.
you like New Year, New Us.
All right.
Guys are watching Hoop, dog. The Hoop. Nick said double digits damn near every game. No, that's kind of true though. I'm not gonna hold you there.
Bro, I was filling it out. I was like, kill 10, 14, 15, 17. What is going on?
There's a few gems here. Come on, Ron. Let's get started, baby. Come on.
I'm just trying to make sure my background good because I'm on a different thing.
All right.
I don't got the boy tonight. I got all day. You feel me?
There's Hoop on right now though. So, man. I just saw Miss Basket and I just saw a rebound.
Oh yeah, mine's is late. Chill out. We tipping right now.
Who do you think got the rebound?
Well, Bucks got the ball. I'm gonna say Blake Griffin got the ball.
KD. That's a foul, right? They called it. Fouls galore. Week 7. Early lines. Let's get it in.
What the hell?
Did that Denver line come down? I saw it was 3 on the maker. The maker.
What up?
I can't figure it out. Here we go.
Now James is gone. Come on, sound man. Women and children, huh? Women and children.
Polo Rome look good in them highlights, man.
We're wrinkly right now, but we're gonna be all right.
My man has evaded the traffic in them highlights, man.
Evaded the traffic. Hey, send out them links. You know what I mean? All of that good stuff.
Sent
Tweet it
mine
out,
in my
Rome.
chat.
Do your your weekly jump. Let's get started in 7:41. Let's get started. 2 minutes. Now he's gone offline again. I just put in a few chats. Living my life like it's golden. You know?
All up in this. Drew Holiday.
Hey, the KD movie was looking, yeah.
He got a movie.
Kenneth Wayne.
Oh,
Assist for Harden. Let's keep it going.
you're not talking basketball, I thought.
I'm sorry.
Blake Griffin just got my last rebound, though. All right. This about to distract me. I don't need to watch this game.
Okay, the Kate.
Brother, been my brothers in it. That's a fact. Hey. And I'm like smoking on off the track. Hey.
Hey.
Hashtag where's Rome?
Got Giannis.
Hey, Rome, I'm gonna get the drop for you before you even get off the Zoom today.
Gotcha.
Y'all ready? Do your little screenshot whenever you get the opportunity.
We'll do.
I don't mean to call it the little. I feel like little is disrespectful.
Mm-mm.
You call anything little anything is just.
Yo, you know what I was saying? I think every time we record, I think we all should do that jump. Everybody do their perspective from this jump.
Gotcha.
All right. How do you usually do that? Okay.
I mean, I think you're just taking a.
I'll just take a photo with my
Yeah,
phone.
you're just taking a photo on this jump.
Right. I just forgot how I actually like. Mine not gonna look as good, but you know.
Hey man, show your setup, babe.
I could put this here.
All right.
Fucking upon it. There you go. All right. Let's get it started in here. Week 7.
Ready to go, fellas.
All right. Yeah, my joint don't look like Rome's. It is what it is.
It's just a picture, bro.
No, chill. Rome
Shit,
joint
mine
be
don't look like
official.
mine this week. I'm on the pad, so
Oh,
it is
Rome be
what it
looking
is.
official. All right, let's do it. Week 7. Tweet out the links when y'all got more chances. Tweet it out. Talk, all of that good stuff. All right. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay. Let's get into it. And we're back. Andy Up Consulting presents What's the Line podcast, week 7, 2021. We're back. Gentlemen, it's been a hell of a week. My week starts on Sundays. Since then, it's been just upward. Red Sox doing their thing. A lot of potential things going on. So we'll speak about that later, though. But how you guys doing today? It's a three-man weave this week. Rome, how you feeling this week?
Ready to go. Only one best bet last week, and they fell flat on their face. So I basically fell flat on my face last week. So ready to redeem myself and get back on, get back sharp this week.
Yep, feel like we've all been burned by that team, that Detroit Lions team and Jared Goff this year, actually. So, Salman, how you feeling this week? Back again, week 7.
I'm feeling good this week. I don't know if I could speak on the Salmon special. Last time I did, I jumped out there too early. I'm not going to speak on it. I feel good personally coming into this week. A lot of some crazy lines this week, but I'm feeling good this week. Week 7.
All right, man. All right. So let's get into some reviews. Let's review real quick. Soundman special. So we'll start with you, Soundman. 5-1 on the year. All plus money underdogs, 5-1. Love to see that. You're winning money with Soundman. It just is what it is. Like, well, how can you lose with that with plus money 5-1? So shout out to Soundman. Soundman special, 5-1 on the year. Best bets. Rome, 10-6 on the year. 62%. Myself, 10-6-1 on the year, 62%. Mike Curry, 9-6 on the year. It's all against the spread, by the way. There's no other way to live. So he's also 60%. So we're cooking up here. What's the Line podcast? Let's talk teasers. Rome, 3-3 on the year. You had a 3-0 streak, lost one. So I'm sure you'll get back off the schneid this week. Soundman, 2-3. I think that's 3 in a row you've haven't hit. So also I think you'll get off the schneid this week. Try to look in between games. I want you to win your teasers. Mike Curry, 1-0 teasers. Paris, 1-0. Keith, sneaky, 4-1 with his teasers. I am 6-0 on teasers. I said this is the week I'll start popping my shit. I think I'm gonna go undefeated on teasers.
Okay.
Two team teasers on this here What's the Line podcast. If I do, please, we got to think of ways to promote it. Like if I could, so I got to keep it going though. Last week I had an AFC West 2-team teaser. 6-0 right now. We got to think of a promotion, something. So everybody throw ideas to me. Anybody out there listening, watching, throw some ideas because I'm trying to go undefeated on this teaser this year. So I'm gonna pop my shit while I can. But yeah, and then this week, where's Rome week? We know we always do those on the odd weeks to find out where the odd places Rome is this particular week. And yeah, we're going to get right into it. Let's do it. Thursday night football. Broncos at the Browns. Browns favored by 3.5 at home. Totals 42.5. Rome, starting with you. How do you think? What do you think?
All right. Thursday night, 3.5 at home for the Browns. It's the Browns team right now that seems a little banged up. Hopefully they'll get some guys back. We heard Von Miller talking about, I don't care who I'm facing this weekend at the tackle position. I'm running them over. I'm going to kill them. Who knows, right?
Hated that, yeah.
So I'm very confident in this Browns team. I think a lot of people have turned their back towards this Brown team. I mean, you hear talks about them being, one of the most underrated or underachieving teams thus far through 6 weeks. My response to that is it's 6 weeks. It's just a little bit more than a quarter of the season. And I think this is a team, like I said, that's banged up and it's still trying to find their stride. So a team that runs the ball and depends on the run often, you would expect them to be able to find their stride a little bit quicker than a pass-happy team or a team that needs a little bit more chemistry in the pass game. So I think, this is a good week for the Browns to be able to run the ball at home on Thursday night. You got the Broncos coming in. We obviously know that defense is a strength of that team. However, on the ground, I think they've been a little bit susceptible this year. And then go to the offensive side of the Broncos. I think in the past couple of weeks, they've kind of, taken a step back offensively. Most specifically this past week at home against the Vegas Raiders. And we don't regard that defense as being, any good outside that pass rush, and the Broncos were unable to put up points there. So, I'm just not – I'm not going to overreact on the Browns and how many people feel about the Browns thus far. They're laying 3.5 at home for a reason on Thursday night. I like the Browns here in this spot. When I say I like it, it means I'll play it. One of the things I do like about this matchup here, you speak about the guys on the outside for the Browns, Odell Beckham, not sure if we're getting Landry back, not sure what's going on with that. But, I look for a big week for Baker Mayfield to bounce back. Last week, he basically, he shit the bed at home and gets a game that's a personal rival to him. And then you follow it up with a short week. So you kind of can put that behind your head and get back to the grind. I like him here on a short week at home, not having to travel. And like I said, it kind of goes all back to that run game. I think if they're able to run the ball, control clock, they're then able to run play action, and that's where they're best. So we understand Kareem Hunt is down and they have some injuries. And, speaking of injuries, Baker Mayfield. But I think the biggest injury right now on that team is Jarek Willis being out. So, with all these things and all these injuries coming with the Browns, they're still laying 3.5 at home. And so I think that's what people need to realize. The line is the line. Line is 3.5. Books know there's injuries on their side of the ball. They're still laying 3.5 at home. I like the Browns this week.
All right. Looks like Rome is on the Browns this week. Soundman, how do you feel about this matchup? Browns favored by 3.5 Thursday Night Football.
I don't know how I feel about this matchup. I'm leaning Denver here.
Says you like what I'm looking at.
Did I like I might like the Denver Broncos here. I think I did like the Broncos here. A couple reasons. I don't like the game. Let me say that first and foremost. Don't like any Thursday games. Browns, first and foremost, super hurt. Kareem obviously gone. Chubb, I wouldn't play him if I was the Browns. Just don't play him here.
He's out.
Chubb is out.
Yes.
Chubb's out. Hunt's out. Torn labrum is gonna play, I think, like an idiot. And he gets one wrong hit, and Case Keenum's in the game, and now it's a whole totally different game. Broncos.
With all that said, they're still laying 3.5.
They're laying 3.5 because it's probably like how you said, they're supposed to be a better team than what they are. Currently last place in their division. Obviously nobody thought they'd be that. Granted, week 6, but they're still last place in the division, not playing up to standards of what they thought they'd be this year. So there's still the Brownies at this point. The Broncos, I see the Broncos in the same light of how I saw the Panthers. The 3-0 is kind of fluke. Played a bunch of terrible teams, but they lost 3 straight. I think they'll be more hungry against a team that's super banged up. Granted, you're on the road on a short week. I think the Broncos just win here. I think the Browns are too banged up at their skill positions to pull this game off on such a short week, especially with torn labrum. Just all he needs is one hit, and now it's Case Keenum. So I'm gonna like the Broncos here.
I mean, that's been the case though for weeks now. I mean, Baker's been injured for weeks, so that one hit thing. It's just like if he would have been out by now, I think he would have been out in terms of that shoulder injury. I think
that shoulder when he got hit last week though.
Hey, I was gonna say, stop it right there, Rome. I want a chicken sandwich bet on this. It's a like for me on the Broncos. I'm sure you already seen I gave it out. So I got to take advantage here. We got to have a chicken sandwich battle here.
First game.
We haven't had many, so let's do this Thursday Night Football. Are you down? 2 likes, opposite ways.
Yeah, I like it. I like the Browns. Chicken sandwich battle, Browns.
So I'm gonna tell you guys why I like the Browns, and we don't have to keep going too much into this game. But Baker did. I know, Rome. I spoke to you recently. I don't think
hold on. Let's slow down. Yeah. I'm on the Browns.
Yeah, he likes the Browns.
That's what I meant to say. I'm sorry. Browns Broncos got me a little. You're on the Browns. I'm on the Broncos. Yes, I like the Broncos.
Okay.
Yeah, so I know, Rome. I talked to you recently. You didn't get eyes on all the games per se this past week. I
watched all the film. I'm caught up. I watched the film for every single game.
Baker took a hit that it didn't look too crazy at the time. Just kind of looked like he got the ball knocked out. Stayed on the ground for a while. Apparently, he's looking for a second opinion this week. So actually, my play is hoping that Baker Mayfield does play while injured. So I don't want to see Case Keenum because then you throw my entire handicap off. So I expect Baker Mayfield to try to play it out there, play it. But with the receivers, I do not. I don't know if Odell's going to play. He did not. He walked off last game. I think Jarvis may play. It's been a few weeks. And then, I think they'll need him considering Chubb and Hunter out. But you got cluster injury at the running back. This line basically says the Browns are maybe a 1 point better than the Broncos. Considering
Browns don't get 3 for being at home. They probably get 2, 2.5. Line's 3.5, so they're probably 1.5 points better.
Well, I gave them a 2.5 considering the weather there, and it looks like it's going to rain this upcoming week on Thursday. So I give the dog pound a full 2.5, and it was 3, in the earlier days. But I give them a full 2.5. Saying it's a 1 point, the Browns are 1 point better than this Broncos team. I don't necessarily agree considering the Broncos, I'm motivational P, backs against the wall. I think they'll come out here and perform. Vic Fangio defensively. I think he'll those defensive backs will cause some trouble for Baker. And the Broncos don't generate much pressure though. So I hate what Von Miller said this past week. But I think the cornerbacks will hold it down, make it tough to throw the ball on them. You're going to have to run. You got cluster injuries there. And then there's some linemen hurt as well. I don't know if they're coming back, but Vic Fangio and the Broncos, 13-8 against the spread after a loss, 16-9 against the spread non-division games. So I kind of want to back that and getting over a field goal. And two teams I think are pretty comparative at this point. So so
what I want to speak about here, and I'm just going to keep it short because obviously we've done this Thursday night game for a while, and by the time this comes out, listeners will probably, might not or may not have heard this. But I mean, the Browns are a team right now. Obviously, we said they're banged up on the offensive line, they're banged up at the skill position, they're banged up at quarterback, and we talk about weather and we talk about short week. What's that tend to do? It tends for teams to run the ball. So I'm not worried about the offensive line injury as of right now. And I'm also not worried about the injuries outside on the outside because I think if they pass the ball, it's going to be play action, and that's just going to be a thing. That'll be a thing in itself. It'll be successful in itself. So that's why I like the Browns. Running back injuries do worry me, but they're not going to ask Baker to throw the ball 50 times a game. So
no, I don't think they're going to do that either. But I just think you got much lesser talent running the ball, and with the O-line injuries, we'll see how it goes down. So they had 2 starting tackles out last week. I think at least one will come back. So got that in your favor. But next game. Well, before we get there, where's Rome? Let's find out where's Rome this week. Second game on the board. So let's find out where's Rome. All right. Next game, Washington football team at the Packers. Packers favored by 9.5, total of 49. Start with you, Sound Man, a fan. What do you think about this game? Packers favored by 9.5.
Lean Washington football team here. I would just say you can tell my bravado if I think the Washington football team is going to do anything week to week basis. I've picked every game right so far. We're gonna lose this game here. I probably picked I probably love the Packers here if it wasn't 10. I think we cover this game. I think Washington football team is probably frustrated. Obviously, they're 2-4. They were in the game somehow against the Chiefs literally into the fourth quarter. It was 21-0 in the fourth quarter. Other than that, you're up 13-10 the whole entire game. You got Patrick Mahomes looking, playing probably one of his worst games in his career, probably up to that. You just can't build off of that because we're just not a good team. When Washington football team plays the Packers, it's kind of a game that we're usually always in. It's probably usually a close game. I just don't have too much for us. I can't have any faith in us. Watching Aaron Rodgers Tuesdays today, this guy is in a groove. He's feeling great, enjoying his win that he just had against the Bears. I don't got nothing for the Washington football team. I don't need no stats here. It's all eye test here. We're not going to win this game. We're in the gauntlet. Obviously, they had the article saying that we're playing like so many pro quarterbacks, top tier quarterbacks. It's another one down the list. So 10, absolutely not, especially on the road. Hopefully we cover. I think we'll cover, but they're probably going to dominate this game. It's probably going to look a lot like how last week did against the Bears for them. So I'm going to lean Washington football team here just because of the 10 points.
Yeah, I'm going to throw out some stats, but Packers under Aaron Rodgers, 83, 65, and 4 against the spread, non-division games, 61, 37, and 3 against the spread, home fave since 08. Stay away from me at this number, but Ron, what do you think?
Yeah, I like this number, and I think it's going to get a little bit steeper. So I'm watching the Washington football team here on this game. I really lean with them. I really like them this week, specifically because of the line. Let's talk about the line and just keep it that simple. Line is 9.5 right now. All right. So Green Bay, Lambeau, it's one of the few stadiums in pro football that still earns a true 3 for home field advantage. So this line says the 5-1 Green Bay Packers are 6.5 points better than the Washington football team. I think that discrepancy is a little bit larger than this line seems to show. And I think the bookmakers setting this line at what it is, and I think it gets up to 10 by closing. I really like the Washington football team here. There's a 2-4 team that's underachieved. We talked about the Browns being one of the most underachieving teams in pro football. How about the Washington football team? I mean, a team that has looked just bad offensively, and the defense has probably looked worse in terms of, their expected production thus far. So I like this angle here. This is a backs against the wall type of game for the Washington football team. And as Omatic mentioned here, this is a game where we often see a Washington football team hang around in games that they have no business hanging around in. And on the road here in Green Bay, like I said, 2-4 backs against the wall, and a 5-1 fat and happy Packers team that, they don't really need this. This isn't in division. It isn't conference, but it is in division. And Aaron Rodgers coming off a huge divisional win. After watching that film, I mean, I like what I saw from the Packers, but I more so dislike what I saw from the Bears. I mean, Justin Fields and that offense could not get anything going, leading to lots of short fields for the Packers. And that's why they were able to capitalize and run the score up on them. So I don't think that'll be the issue here with the Washington football team. The Washington football team played one of the best offenses of all time, pretty close for a half this past week. And so obviously you have to play 2 halves to win a ball game, but at 9.5 points, you don't necessarily need to win the ball game. So I like the Washington football team here. Probably going to play them. Just haven't played them yet because I think this line will get a little bit cheaper for me in terms of value. So I think this line right now at 9.5, close at 10. And I think if it goes the other way, that should be eye-popping as well because, it's a 2-4 team on the road at a 5-1 Packers team. So if this line comes down, that's sharp money. But, I'm pretty sure the Sharps are going to hold tight on this, expecting more public money in on the 5-1 home team. And then they're going to pull the trigger, and I'll be right there with them to do it at 10.
All right, yeah. Like I said, it's a stay away from me, but every week, Trap or Die podcast, I gotta give out a play. Right now, I'm leaning towards the Packers team total under. It looks like it should be around 29.5, 30.
Yeah.
They've only surpassed that 30 point mark twice this year. Once in a show off game against the Lions, and then the other time was when they had to kind of battle back against the 49ers and win that game. Kick a field goal late. They had 27 until the very last second. So I think I'm going to back the team total Packers under 29.5, mostly because I don't think they're not motivated to continue to score, and they can still possibly cover.
Saw a stat. Aaron Rodgers randomly all-time 2-3 against us. Obviously no ATS because I don't be careful, but at least 2-3 against us all time. So
2-3 straight up against the Washington football team. I just want to throw
so
this out here. Obviously we record on Tuesdays, but the weather right now in Green Bay is cloudy and a chance of some precipitation on Sunday. So obviously just watch that as game time nears. And I think that benefits the Washington football team more than it does the Packers, as ironic as that may sound.
Yeah, Ron Rivera 3-2 against the spread versus Aaron Rodgers during his career. So did want to mention that.
Good. I'll take that.
Next game, Chiefs at the Titans. Titans favor. Oh, no, not Titans. Total's 56.5. Chiefs favored by 5.5 now. Open at 3. So some steam on the Chiefs after a pretty good win by the Titans. Rome, you might got some better insight on me on this one. What do you think about this game? Chiefs favored by 5.5.
Yeah, I love this game, and I love it for everything that's happened situationally with these two teams the past 2 weeks. So we talked about the Titans this past Monday at home. They fall behind early, and they found a way to come back after they found their offensive stride, playing like a classic 2020-2019 Titans game where they have to score 30 points and win, and they also make obviously a timely stop there in the fourth quarter. So this is a Titans team that knows who they are, but I'm still not sold on this offense. And when you have to play the Chiefs, no matter where it is, at home or on the road, you're going to have to score points with them. And if you have to score points with them and chase them, I think that'll be an issue. This line's 5.5. This game's played in Tennessee. Tennessee is getting a friendly 2 for home field advantage. So, I do think this Chiefs team is 7.5 points better than the Chiefs team. And if we talk about this line and what this line would have been last year, when the Titans obviously go into the divisional round, no one would ever think this line would get up to 5.5, specifically in Tennessee. So I think this line is very telling, coming off a Chiefs team that does not look sharp in the past, I would say the past month, and then a Titans team that's looked sporadic as well. So one of the worst defenses in pro football, that being the Chiefs, but really what their issue has been giving up big plays in the pass game. I'm not sold on this Titans pass offense. They can't pass on, they they can't pass on straight drop back plays. Going back to last year, Ryan Tannehill, top 3 quarterback in pro football and play action, bottom 30 quarterback on straight dropbacks. To beat the Chiefs, you're going to have to drop back and throw that ball. You're not going to be able to hand off to Derrick Henry and expect him to do what he do. And I mean, you go back to all the film that's played between these two teams the past 2 years, specifically in the playoffs games. What has been the Chiefs' main motive defensively? To stop Derrick Henry and make Brian Tannehill beat him. They've yet to do it. I don't expect it to happen this week. I like the Chiefs on a team that's finally finding their stride, and also a Chiefs offense that's, I think they understand their backs are against the wall. They know that they've been underachieving thus far, and that's why they went out there and did what they did this past weekend, but they still look sloppy. So that I think their motivation is still there to clean up some things. And I think the Titans are a team right now that I think they're one of the worst teams above 500, if you ask me. I'm not a believer in this offensive scheme, and I've been going back to last year saying it. You cannot win consistently in pro football with this offensive scheme. You will not be able to win the games that matter against the offenses that can produce points more naturally and more efficiently. So I like the Chiefs here. Large number on the road, 5.5. Giving the Chiefs total team over because I don't believe in that defense. And, just to point out, this is the highest total in pro football this week, possibly the highest total in pro football thus far this year at 56.5 points. So I like the Chiefs here. Chiefs team total over on the road. Really like it more than I like the side.
All right. Yeah. Quickly, Rome, I'm with you. Oh, I'm not. Well, I just lean with the Titans, but I mean, you definitely persuaded me the other way because this defense, but I am with you on the Chiefs team total over. That's what I was going to say. Definitely. That was the first thing that came to mind. I don't want to back this Chiefs team. As we know, 3-11 against the spread last 14 regular season games. I eventually expect them to start to turn that corner, but the Titans team, I don't really want to back them either with such a bad defense. They were giving it up yesterday, crazy too. And I just think that they can stop the run a little bit. They're 9th in opponents' rushing yards per game. The Titans are, but passing yards per game, they're 24th. Josh Allen just got it in. I played Josh Allen at least 289 passing yards for the Monday Night Football. That hit
was that a sweat at all?
Not at all. That hit with ease. He had 320 plus, so that was all good. So I might look to do the same thing as soon as these number drops on Mahomes. His passing total at least 300, and then the team total over for the Chiefs as well. Soundman, what do you think about this game? Chiefs favored by 5.5 on the road.
A lot of the same sentiments. I'm going to lean Titans here.
How are those the same sentiments? To Pete.
As me, yeah. I lean with the Titans.
Okay, I don't lean Titans.
Can I get into my sentiments to let you know how I'm leaning into the sentiments? So I'm leaning Titans here. I'm siding with both of a lot of sentiments that were said, right? So first of all, I'm not leaning Chiefs at all or going Chiefs at all because I've been fading them every single week with the points. Been on the right side of that. Not fading them for that. Don't want to say I'm fat and happy off of watching the Titans last night. Played a hell of a game. Obviously, when the season started, I said I definitely think Bills and Titans will represent the AFC when it's all said and done. I don't think that no more with the Titans. But I think a lot of points are going to be scored here. I think this is definitely an over game for probably everything for totals. A lot of something's got to give here. Titans 3rd in rushing yards per game. Obviously, Chiefs is 27th giving up on, rushing per game. One thing that we didn't – I know you said –
Question with that specific stat, I got a question there. What do you think gives? You said some got to give there. What do you believe gives there? Because I think it's the run game more than it will be the Chiefs getting ran over. I think it'll meet in the middle, but I think, this is one of those games where I think the Chiefs defense finally shows up. This is
part of what's got to give for defense for me is not that. I think this is kind of a game that the Titans offense, obviously you said their offense hasn't been producing at all. I think their passing offense probably does something this Sunday finally. Like yesterday, they kind of got on track. They scored on 6 straight possessions. They were moving the ball. I think it was more so passing than rushing. Henry did most of his damage, I think, early in the first half and then obviously pounded away in the fourth quarter. But I think this could be a time where they can get on track. The Chiefs defense sucks. The Titans DBs all just seem to just go down yesterday. So it looks like there's going to be a lot of offense that can be scored this weekend. But I'm not going to side with the 5.5 with the Chiefs on the road. Like, I'm just going to lean Titans here. I think they could be fat and happy off of beating the Bills Monday night off the goal line stance of Josh Allen slipping here. I think they lose just because I'm going to respect the Chiefs as I've been trying to do all year, and they've just been letting me down. But I think Henry is going to run over these guys. I also think Tannehill is going to pass over these guys. And at the same token, there's nobody to cover Reeks of the world, the McCall Harmons of the world, the Kelseys of the world on the Titans. So I think a lot of points are going to get scored here. The 56.5 is kind of crazy, but I think it could be a lot. It might could go over, man. So I'm leaning Titans here. Yeah.
All right, this is a lean with the Titans for sound, man. Same with me. Like on the Chiefs, bro.
No, like on the Chiefs team total over, lean on the Chiefs line. But if I'm being, completely transparent, I would probably only play the Chiefs total team over on this.
Yeah. That's the difference between a lean and a like for anybody out there listening. Likes we play, leans where we wouldn't play. We're just kind of guessing. They're playing a guessing game. All right, gentlemen. I introduced this last week. So you got one game to bet on. You can only bet on one game. We're going to give you two home dogs. You got the Dolphins catching 2.5 against the Falcons. You got the Giants catching 2.5 against the Panthers. Which home dog would you back here? Rome, let me know.
Shit. I mean, when you put these two teams put these two specific games up together, it's a little harder for me to say. I'll just say this. I don't want any parts of the Dolphins, specifically right now. This is a team that's 32nd in rushing offense, and a quarterback that's incompetent in terms of being a professional quarterback. So I don't want any parts of the Dolphins at home. I think the Giants at this very point in the year is a better coached team. But I also, I don't really want to play the Giants this week either because the Panthers have committed to running the football. And you talk about the Giants team that gave up 200 yards 2 weeks ago on the ground and 138 yards this past week on the ground. If you're going against the Panthers team that said they're going to run the football and you get up over 130 yards in the past 2 weeks, I don't want to back you at home.
So which roll fave would you take out of those two? Falcons 2.5, Panthers 2.5.
That's a better question. I would like to take the Panthers here on this one just because they're a hungrier team. They lost 3 in a row, and I think the Falcons know who they are this year in terms of who they're playing against the Dolphins. The Panthers, although have higher hopes and still aspirations and higher motivation to produce points and get a win on the road. So I would lean Panthers, land at 2.5 up there in East Rutherford.
All right, Soundman, what about those two? Either you backing home dogs or the roll phase? Falcons minus 2.5 at Dolphins, Panthers minus 2.5 at Giants.
Pretty much the same as Rome. On a sheet, I stayed away from Falcons, Dolphins, got nothing for it, and I like the Panthers here on the road. Panthers I pretty much like for the same sentiments as I like Denver here. Started off hot, lost 3 in a row. You're probably hungrier for a win, and the Giants just stink. They're hurt. They're just hurt. I think the Panthers are more hungry for this win against the super hurt team. The same sentiments I got between Denver and the Browns here. The hungry team versus a hurt team. So
I know we're talking about 2 games here, but just to I'm sorry, this is 3 games ago, but Denver does have the worst offensive production on third down conversion in pro football. So I hope you guys know that as you guys lean Broncos this week.
You're just going back to that.
I'm just going back to that just because I remember that. Yeah, they're the worst.
It's not it's more about, for me, the conditions and the number. Gotcha. 3.5.
Gotcha.
So I would take the Giants here plus the 2.5. I think Sam Darnold, he's seen a boogeyman out there. He hasn't looked really good lately, except that one drive to get into overtime. I think this Giants defense is still, they could at least, I know Martinez is out, but they could at least play competitive, at least on the back end, I believe. The Giants, I'm looking at their opponents, rushing yards and passing yards per game, not good at all. But I think this Panthers team, they still haven't shown to be able to run the ball and get a lot of, get that yardage without McCaffrey. I know Hubbard recently went over 100 yards on the ground. So they're gonna try to commit to it. But I think this Giants front, the Leonard Williams of the world, can make it tough for them. They're going on the road and laying points, like to catch the Panthers as a dog. But this Giants team haven't covered at home 3 in a row, like to fade that trend. Eventually they're going to cover at home. They're just 3-10 against the spread as a home dog under the Daniel Jones era. So 3-11 actually against the spread. So I'll go with the Giants here, lean with the Giants, and mostly because I can't back the Dolphins or the Falcons. I think the Panthers at this point still laying points. I'm not sure about it. So I'll take the Giants out of those 2 games.
I think this Giants team, just to speak last time on the Giants-Panthers game, this Giants team last year, the big thing about them was their defense was good, and if their offense got better this year, they would be better. Well, their defense is taking a step back this year, 29th on the ground in terms of opponents rushing. Opponents are running for 137 yards on them per game, and then they're 22nd in terms of opponents passing yards per game. So Joe Brady, who can throw the ball and scheme up pass plays, and then a team that's also committed to the run game. There's a team in the Giants that can't score points, and a team in the Giants that can't stop anybody this year. I'm not sold on them. I don't want any points of them. I don't want any parts of them at home. Just 2.5 is basically the Giants getting points for being at home. So what's this line?
Right. And it should be said, Panthers under Matt Rule, 8-2 against the spread as a road team, 9-6 against the spread non-division games. Let's give some Falcons, 9-7 against the spread after a bye under Matt Ryan. The Dolphins, 11-7 against the spread as a home team, usually catching points. So we'll see how that goes. But I think we all agree none of us could touch the Falcons or the Dolphins right now. So it's that Panthers-Giants game. Looks like you guys on the Panthers. I will lean the Giants. Not touching it, though. Next game, Bengals at the Ravens. Ravens favored by 6, total 47. I love how we just got through those two games. I'm going to start with me. I like the Ravens in this spot, minus the 6 points. I know the Ravens coming off a big win last week against the LA Chargers, but they put all their chips in the middle of the table. But I think they dominated so much that, when it came to the fourth quarter, they weren't really expending their energy and still trying to, make those plays. It was just like, oh, let's just get out of here, run this ball, continue to run the ball. This Bengals team, they look pretty good on opponents' rushing yards per game. They're 8th in the league right now, but they've gone against teams that just cannot run the ball. And they went against Detroit last week. Their number jumped from like 13th in rushing yards per game opponents. Now they're up to 8th. So I think that's sort of a facade. And then we've seen Lamar Jackson has just grown as a thrower this year. I like the fact that Bateman's on the field right now. I think Sammy Watkins could possibly be back this week. And the Ravens are 8-4 against the spread division games with under Lamar Jackson. So I like all of that. I don't think this Bengals team will be able to throw the ball much run the ball much. So they're going to have to be one-dimensional. We're going to send Martindale with those blitzes. So I'm gonna take the Ravens. Just a touchdown, because a touchdown is 6 points. I know some people are just like, oh, 6.5. 6.5 is not a touchdown. It's more than a touchdown. But I'm going to take the Ravens minus 6 here in division at home. Rome, what do you think?
Yeah, so my thing on this game is a Bengals team, and mind you, this is a Bengals team that's been catching money all year. The Bengals whooped my ass last week on my best bet. Love the Lions at home. They go up there and they handle business, right? Well, the best thing about the Bengals is their defensive pass game. They're third in pro football in terms of yards per completion pertaining to their opponents. So their opponents per completion on average complete about 8 yards per pass. How about the Ravens? Ravens defense that we all seem to think is the best unit on their team. They're 23rd in pro football in terms of opponents pass per completion, meaning they're giving up chunk plays, they're giving up passing yards, and then it's the Bengals team that has found a way to be pass happy and be very good. Obviously, we know Martindale's going to bring some blitzes for Joe Burrow, and we know that the offense of the Ravens is going to try to run the ball here. I've been fading the Bengals almost all year. I'd hate to jump on their train right now with that 6, but I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to catch those 6 points on the road here in division. If this Bengals team is who they are and who they've been playing and seeming to be, this will be a game that they'll have to cover, specifically going on, in the years following. This is a divisional matchup that I don't think too many people respect yet, but this is Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson. And Jackson has been, pretty good in the air this year, and so is Burrow. Something's got to give here in terms of defensive passing. I think it'll be the Ravens defense giving up, some more chunk plays at home, two games in a row at home here. And I wasn't thrilled about what I saw from the Chargers this past week, and I wasn't too thrilled about what I saw from the Ravens defensively. With all that said, I don't think they played in a static game. I just think they were able to bully them down the field and beat a West Coast team that came east and basically just punch them in the mouth. I don't think they'll be able to do that against an in-division team. That and the Bengals. Bengals catching 6 on the road this week. We talk about this total here. Total's 47. That's 1 point lower than the NFL average totals in pro football is 48. This total's 1 point lower. Who's going to get the points here? I think it'll be the Bengals here catching a 6 with a total below. I like them being able to cover. Books aren't giving you hooks to cover, so specifically on the road. So I like the Bengals here. I'll take the points. Looking for this line to get cheaper, just as every Bengals line has thus far this year. Bengals have caught money on almost every week this year. So I would not expect anything less here in division with 6 points and a team that's been pretty impressive. So lean Bengals, probably will play it this evening. And then if I get action opposite, then I'll just, hedge out and then get a better number. Lean Bengals here.
Sound, man, what do you think about this game? Ravens favored by 6 at home. Your mic is funny money again.
Again?
Oh, man.
How about now?
Yeah, you're good.
All right. I was going to say 65-6 is what the Ravens outscored the Bengals last year in 2 games. 65-6.
How many games did Joe Burrow play in those games?
1 of 2.
Okay.
But regardless, 65-6. 3 points in each of the games. I love the Ravens here. Yet again, this is another one of my divisional opponents that are in 2 different leagues here.
Is that an accurate stat? I mean, the quarterback didn't play in one of the games.
Okay, we're talking about the
team.
team.
It's an accurate stat, but I mean,
the Ravens outscored the Bengals 65-6 last season.
That is a fact. And do you believe
Joe Burrow didn't pass for 200 yards in the game they played? He couldn't get a touchdown.
In the game that he did not play,
they also didn't score but 3 points, Rome. 65-6 is all I'm saying right now.
I got the fact. But let's be real here. I mean, do the Bengals score more than 3 points last year if Joe Burrow plays in that game?
He played a game last year and he scored 3.
Rome, I gotta disagree with you. I mean, statistics say he doesn't because he only scored 3 in the game.
What are you saying, Rome?
It's a 1-game sample size.
So doesn't get better in game 2?
I mean, it's a 1-game sample size. We understand, but possibly. It's a team. Yeah,
65-6 is all I gotta say, man. The spread is 6 points. Ravens are playing their 3rd of 4 straight home games here. Bengals are 4-2. Somehow, you've been talking about the Bengals somehow halfway up to their team total every single time we've talked on this podcast this year. And they're there already. They're super. They only need 2 more games, and it's what 11 more to go. They're fine. They're not fine. Obviously, want to keep pace. I'm looking at something that says 1-7 after a win here. I don't know whose stat this is for. Is this for Zach Taylor, P? 1-7 after a win for the 1-7 after a win. You know what I'm saying? Now you're going into Baltimore, probably 1 o'clock game. These 2 teams are in 2 different leagues here. I know I said this last week about the Packers and the Bears, right? Obviously a 10-point win for them. I think these are 2 different teams, 2 different leagues. Yes, they're 4-2. Yes, they're 5-1. This 5-1 is way more impressive than this 4-2. The Bears are in here, and they've just been somehow etching out these wins. Obviously, because Joe Burrow and
last week was not an etched out win. They won by over 28 points on the road.
Besides that, I mean, they're playing the Lions. Let's stop. Your Lions at that. Nonetheless, though, Ravens win this game outright. 6 points is another than them. They're just going to keep rolling at this point. I think they got something.
Do they cover the 6? You said they went outright. Do they cover the 6?
They cover the 6.
Chicken sandwich bet on that. Give me the Bengals.
You owe me 2. We can make it 3.
You like the Bengals.
Bro, you owe me 2 sandwiches already. You sure you want to make it 3? We can keep adding this on. I keep telling people, check
my Let me get one back here.
Check my record, man. When are you gonna pay these sandwiches?
Let's go. Let's pay up, Ron. Pay the sandwich.
Love the Ravens here. Nonetheless, man, 65-6. Love the Ravens here, man. These 2 teams are in 2 different leagues, man. Go Ravens here, man.
All right, and I will say you did mention the 1-7 against the spread for the Bengals under head coach Zach Taylor against the spread. But yeah, I like the Ravens when you catch it under a touchdown. We talk about field goal kickers. I think I got an advantage there as well. So I like the Ravens.
You always have an advantage with Justin Tucker at the field goal possession.
Right. And I remember the Bengals kicker a couple of weeks ago while we were in Vegas. This guy was just missing hella kicks. But next game. Eagles at the Raiders. The Raiders. Oh, that was the best bet of mine last week. And the Soundman special. I took the 3.5. Soundman took the money line. What can I say? What can I say? Raiders favored by 3 at home. 3rd home game in a row for the Raiders. Total of 49.
No, it's not. They went to Denver this past weekend.
Oh, they went to Denver last week? Yeah, they did go to Denver last week. All right, so Raiders favored by 3, total of 49. Start with me again. I like the Eagles in this spot, actually. I think that they're in a really good spot. I know, they're just 50% against the spread as a road dog, but since 2017. However, they're actually 18-12 against the spread just as a dog since during that same span since 2017. The Raiders, the reason why I backed them last week, nobody else, it felt like was going to try to back them, lost their coach, they're going through a lot, whatever, all that stuff. But the Broncos were not going to be able to generate pressure against Derek Carr. I mean, at least that's what their statistics say. The Eagles, however, their statistics say that they are going to be able to generate pressure against this Derek Carr and this Raiders offense. I believe they're going to do that, make it uncomfortable for them. The Raiders 19-30 against the spread after a win under Derek Carr. 8-13 against the spread as a home fave during that same span. I'm gonna back the Eagles here. More, they got 10 days rest. Played Thursday night. Traveling, business trip. And then I just think 27-24 against the spread, non-division games, Eagles under that span. And that running factor, I know they can pass rush the Raiders, but that running factor will hurts. Get out of the pocket, make a play or two. So I'm gonna back the Eagles plus the 3 points here on the road. Rome, what do you think?
Yeah, I lean with the Eagles here, and I'm probably going to play this tonight. It's just all in the line right here. This line says these two teams are even. I mean, I wouldn't say that this is the same. These two teams are even. I mean, Vegas, they don't get 3 for being at home field. We were in Vegas when the Bears put up last week. It was, 2 weeks ago. It was basically 50-50. So big market cities going to Vegas, they make it a vacation in itself, and they go to Vegas, and the fans travel there, and they make it a whole weekend and watch their team play the Raiders. This is the same Eagles line that they were catching in Carolina a couple weeks ago. They were able to win that game outright. I think this is one of the most underrated teams in terms of looking at them on the spread, specifically because what Jalen Hurts can do, with his feet, improvising and whatnot. I expect that to be, an issue for the Raiders team that is basically taking a step back. I think defensively, I think they start off pretty strong in terms of pass defense. This Raiders defense doesn't fool me. Worst tackling team in pro football last year. Still not able to tackle when the ball gets out. Unless it's a good pass rush, they're susceptible to the pass. And if you're going to play the Raiders at any time, it was last week off the get back week after you fire your coach. We like playing teams a week after they fire the coach. And this past week is a very unique week in the sense that this coach was fired, but not because of poor team performance. It was almost like a free roll that you got the max motivation and you got a team that isn't terrible. Well, here, if that's the case, a team that just won last week in the division, they should be laying a little bit more points at home here. Lean the Eagles, probably will play them tonight. Eagles plus 3.
All right, Salman, what do you think about this game? Raiders favored by 3 at home, total 49.
Stayed away.
Stay away. All right, so actually, I'm gonna shorten this podcast up, gentlemen. So we got 3 home faves that are favored by at least 14 points or more. That is the Rams, Cardinals, and the Buccaneers this week.
All of those games are over double digits.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they're all double-digit home favorites laying over 14 or more points.
Jared Goff going home, baby.
Jared Goff is going home. So out of those 3 games, I mean, we could talk about them a little bit more in depth, but out of those 3 games, which road dog would you back, Ron? Which road dog? Lions. You're taking the Lions. The Snowman, Jeezy, the Snowman.
Yeah. I mean, they're catching 15 points, and I'm still going to believe in this Lions team. I think 15 is too much. If you want to ask a better question, who covers this line easily? Who covers easier? The Cardinals laying 18.5, the Bucks laying 12.5, or the Rams?
Bucks are laying 14 currently, my guy.
Okay, sheet says 12.5. It's up to 14.
Oh no, that's 12.5 then. So it's the sound man. Sky just. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I think if we talk about a home team that would cover this line, I think we'd be more convinced to lay the points to the Bucks. And if I was talking about a team who I would be less convincing in covering this line, it'd probably be the Rams here. So Jared Goff obviously coming home. I expect him to be max motivated, look for his player props. But I'm also looking to play the Lions just on the line at 15. I'm not giving up on this team. I still like them. In terms of what they can do offensively when they want to run the ball. We know Jamal Williams is down. Not sure if he's going to play this week. But this is a team that can run the ball. DeAndre Swift is capable of doing what he needs to do. And Jared Goff has not been terrible this year. So lean Lions, probably will pull the trigger because this line will get more expensive. I think it closes around 15.5, 16. Open at 13.5, already up to 15. Open at 13.5, already up to 15. I expect it to keep climbing. I mean, the Rams have been, pretty good this year. But give me the Lions on the road, a team that's winless and still looking to get a win here, and they're the last winless team in pro football.
All right, Soundman, which road dog would you back here? Lions plus 15, Texans plus 17, Bears plus 12.5.
Sadly, I'm on Rome's side here. I'm back with my guy, Motor City Dan Campbell. I knew he wasn't going to do it last week. Too many tears. It was too much of a letdown the week before. Obviously, you're still winless. I think this is. I didn't even put two and two together. This is Jared Goff's homecoming here. I think that bodes well in the Lions' favor. Obviously, these guys fight, man. They got embarrassed last week. Not too much of a fight, but the Rams. I think they just exerted themselves a lot last week. It was what 37 to something. I mean, the same like score the Lions lost to was the same score the Rams pretty much won. I think this is a game. 15 Lions, you fight here. I really don't. I'm not too much of a believer in the Jared Goff, but him being back home, I guess, is a little added. But I think out of all of these. I'm a lean line. It's on the sheet. I lean line. So
as good as this Rams team is,
Yeah,
their
no,
their
I don't want to do that
21st
too much though, Ron. Because we're gonna come back around. We're gonna come back around with the favorites. Me, it's a clean sweep. I'm also going to go with the Lions. If I had to pick any of these road dogs, McVay 7-4 against the spread is a double-digit favorite. But he is actually 3-4, 3-4 at home as a double-digit favorite. So maybe less incentive when you're just up big to kind of keep putting your foot on the pedal. You're ready to get home, kiss your wives, all that good stuff. So I would, out of these three road dogs, double-digit road dogs, I would back the Lions as well. And then you got that whole homecoming thing. And then Stafford hasn't played that well in first quarters. Not that well of a start. Usually gets heated up after that. So we'll see. But I would back the Lions there. All right.
Yeah.
As far as the
Stafford
home favorite,
also playing against his former team, but he's at home.
Yeah, I get all of that. No, I get all of that. But yeah. So as far as the home favorites, which teams would you back here? Double digit home faves. Rams 15. Obviously, we wouldn't have bet those. Cardinals -17 or Bucks -12.5. Rome.
Bucks first half.
No. Which double digit favorite would now? If that's your handicap out there, let's just get you. But which double digit favorite would you back?
I would. If I'm forced to pick, because
like gun to your head, you're forced to pick. Make a bet, motherfucker.
Bucks 12.5, but I think they get lazy and allow it back to recover.
All right, for me, it is the Cardinals -17. I think this team can get up big early, and the Texans, I don't think they can score late or early. So I think that the Cardinals defense is good enough, especially with the coaches and stuff coming back. So I would, if I had to lay the points, I would do it with the Cardinals. Salmon, what about you?
Leaning Cards too. Cards did it without the coaches. Coaches are back. They're just rolling right now. I would do the Cards at home.
This is the largest spread in pro football in the past 2 years. I'm not laying it with the Cardinals.
Texans stink.
They do. Agreed.
Yeah, and I'm not saying any of us are laying it with the Cardinals. I'm just saying if we had to choose one, gun ahead, I would lay it with the Cardinals because I'm thinking
I am playing the Lions. So I just want to let that be known. I'm back on the Lions, baby.
Give me my sandwich.
All right. Give him a sandwich, Rome. Annie up. All right. Rome, did you have a play on that Bucks first half though? I know you mentioned that.
Yeah, I like the Bucks first half team total over. This is similar to what the Bucks were able to do 2 weeks ago against Miami. Like I said, I'm not too confident in them being able to cover this line just off the total. I mean, total is 47 of all these 3 games that we just talked about with double-digit favorites. This is the lowest total. It's probably because of the Bears' lack of offense, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Bears got some offense going down there in Tampa this week. Just because, I mean, there's a Tampa defense that's 27th in pass right now. And then you add in the fact that the Bears can't really pass, but they have a quarterback that can run. So if you run and extend plays, that leads to bigger plays in the pass game. And, this is a Bears team that probably feels like they're still in it, specifically with the rookie quarterback. So I don't want any parts of the Bucks laying double digits at home this week, specifically because they get 2.5 for being at home. And this line only says they're 10 points better than than the Bears. And that would be the lowest of all these double-digit favorites. So world champions, I'll take their team total first half over. That's all that I want with them. I don't really want to lay it. That first half line will probably be 7. And I'm not too interested in laying 7 first half.
All right. Last game on the board for Sunday Night Football. Colts at the 49ers. 49ers favor by 3.5. Total 44. Must be said. Kyle Shanahan, head coach, 5-13-1 against the spread as a home fave. Since he's been a head coach of this 49ers team. That's pretty fucking bad, Rome. Colts under head coach Frank Wright, 18-16-2 against the spread. Non-division game. Salman, I'm going to start with you on this one. NFC West. What do you think about this game?
Leaning Colts here. Obviously, like you said, NFC West. Don't have too much for these Niners. I still don't know who they are. I think I've seen more from the Colts playing good football lately than I have from the Niners. I think the Colts have played 2 and 3/4 quarters besides that fourth quarter against the Ravens of good football in a row. Versus, these 49ers that are, I don't know who's playing for them. People are all banged up. I guess they're off a bye here. What quarterback's going to play? What running back's going to play? I still don't know. I think the Colts just bring in that good football they've been playing for the past almost 3 weeks here on the road in San Francisco, 5:00 kickoff at night. I think I'm leaning Colts here, man. I just don't know what to make out of the NFC West this season for me, so I'm leaning Colts.
All right, Ron, what do you think about this game? 49ers favorite, 3.5 at home.
Yeah, this is an easy one for me. I like the under on this game. All the issues with the 49ers offense, I'm not a big believer in Trey Lance. If he tries out there, they'll be trying to run the ball. These are two teams top 13 in rushing, so they'll be able to do that, and I'm sure that they'll be trying to do that, specifically the Colts on the road. So I like the under. Lowest total on the board this week. One of the lowest totals on the board this week at 44. That's all I have for this one.
All right, you know what time it is. Tease me picks. Let's get them out, gentlemen. Sound man, you ready? Talk to me.
I could take one. I want to do a total, and I want to tease down the total of the Titans and Chiefs. If this sheet is updated, it's 56.5. I want to take it down to 50.5, and I'm going to tease the Ravens down to a point.
Pick them. It'll be a pick them, not even 1 point.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So if they win by a point, you cash. All right, Rome. What's your tease me pick this week?
My teasing pick is going to be the one game on the board this week that we skipped, which was Jets-Patriots. Going to tease up the Jets.
We skipped this game?
We did. Going to tease up the Jets to 13. They're catching 7 on the road against the Patriots. Are the Patriots going to beat anybody by 13 points this year? I don't think so. Give me the Jets at 13. Another one that I'll tease up. I do like the Eagles, so I'll tease them up to 9.
All right. For me, going for 7-0 this week, pretty tough. I'm gonna go Pats -1, just because they're at home and the Jets are on the road. Rookie quarterback. I'll stick with that formula. My next one, I can't do a total. I can't do it. You know what? I am actually going to do a total because Pats -1, Ravens pick them. That's my 2-team tease. I'm not going to
no total.
No total. Not going to get cute. I can't talk my shit then get cute. So stick with my formula. 2 teams just to win. Those are the tease me picks. And now best bets presented by Bluehost.